JJ.
And welcome back with a new thriller called Safe Inside. Is about a man spending his first night alone in the home of his deceased mother. The house seems to come alive and they must decide if it's a real thing or a figment of his nervous breakdown.
And the movie was filmed entirely in Racine, and we're here with the director, writer, and producer. It is Jason Paul Collum, along with Tina Ona Puxteles, who plays Amy in the film. Great to see both of you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Fascinating. You put together this scary movie. You're also a kindergarten teacher.
I am also a kindergarten teacher. It's like I teach the children by day and I scare people by night.
I like it. I get the juxtaposition. It sounds like a great movie. We're going to talk more too about how people can see it, because there is a screening that's coming up this Friday, where people can catch it. All right, just tell us about the movie, your idea behind it, and how much of it is real life for you.
Well, the scary stuff is not necessarily real, but I live in a house that's 117 years old. It had been remodeled so many times that there's nooks and crannies to the house that having been in the house now for 11 years, I'm still discovering stuff.
Really?
Yes. So I kind of discovered this old addition up in a cabinet, like off of a bathroom, where you see the exterior of the original house covered up. So that was kind of the trigger for me to write the script. I'm like, what goes on in this house? Like, what's the secrets of this house? What else are we going to find?
That's fantastic. So the house is real, kind of based on that. You're a kindergarten teacher now, as Molly said, but you were a theater major. Is that? Well,
I actually went to UW Parkside and originally got a major in writing or English with a concentration.
Yeah.
Then I moved to Los Angeles for several years, studied under a gentleman named David Dakota, like in the B movie world. So I was working on this kind of stuff for years. And then I made a move back to Chicago for a couple years and wound up back in Racine.
Wow, I love it. So tell us how you gathered some of the cast together, because a lot of these people you've known for many years, including some of the names that you brought in.
Right, so I've known Tina for, gosh, 23 years. 23. I had seen her in a movie called Aswang and then discovered that she went to my own university.
Yeah.
So I put her in one of my first movies, Five Dark Souls. And a lot of the cast, Chris Harder, Karen DeLue, Darcy Vanderhoff, a lot of people that I go way, way back to my college days. And then we hired a couple of professional scream queens out of Los Angeles. So Judith O'Dea, who was the star of Night of the Living Dead, and Brink Stevens, who's been in like 150 plus B movies like Three Amigos and Slumber Party Massacre and Haunting Fear. And so,
how do you find a scream queen?
I was a fan as a teenager. I love these women, and I don't know why I connected with them in particular during my teen years, but I fell in love with a certain group like the Final Girls. I always loved the Final Girls, the ones that were strong and intelligent and made it through. And so then as I grew older and I started working in films, I called them up.
That's wild.
I think I've worked on one scary movie in my life, and I think when you're working on a scary movie, it's so different as an actor. So I want to hear a little bit from you, because a lot of this film, even though it takes place at night and it's very scary in the evening, was shot during the day. So from an actor's perspective, what is it like to film a scary movie?
Well, I think the perception is always that you're going to be scared, but you know, it's so technical. You know, it's so choreographed that it's not scary at all. And then when you watch the final product, you're like, wow, that's really scary. I can't believe that, you know.
Yeah, I freaked myself out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the process itself is so technical that it's not scary.
And what's your role in the movie? What happens to you?
Well, I kind of play the sidekick, silly sister to Brink Stevens, who plays Betsy, and she's a major character in the play, and I play her sister Amy. So I was really lucky that I got to be sisters to such a formidable actress in the horror film genre. So
that's cool.
Neat.
Yeah, it's great. So is this something that's like a 6 to 18 plus, like 16, 18, like who should come out and see this film?
Well, it's showing at the Time Theater in Oshkosh on Friday. And you can also stream it as of tomorrow. And then you can get on DVD and Blu-ray in 2 weeks. But I would say 17 plus. I think the Time Theater says 17 and older. 17 and older.
Yeah. So what's next for you? You've done some movies, you said you've worked on a lot. Are there going to be more that you'll be doing locally with people like Tina and other name actors?
Both. I also work on documentaries, so I'm kind of between doing another thriller and doing an educational documentary. So I kind of go back and forth between the two. The scary stuff kind of tends to be my forte.
Passion projects.
But I do love, I do love telling stories. That's like my big thing. So.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Well, and you majored in English, so it makes sense.
Do the kids know you did this movie?
They figure it out. every year they figure it out.
They're sleuthy, huh?
And it's not just the kids in my class, but the kids somehow, at some point in the school year, a child will come and say, Mr. C, do you make movies? And I'm like,
Really, because you have blood on your collar.
Exactly. I love it. So great to meet both of you. Congratulations on this. It's
very excited to see it.
For people to see this movie shot entirely in Racine. The screening that we mentioned is happening this Friday, August 18th at 7 p.m. It's at the Time Theater in Oshkosh. Free admission. It's also available for streaming starting Thursday, the 15th. It will also be Tuesday, August 15th. Yeah, that's right, tomorrow. And DVD and Blu-ray starting Tuesday, August 29th is when you can get a hold of it then. Great to see
Congrats, you guys.
Thank you so much.
Really fun.
Very nice
Thanks
to
again.
meet you both.